In a second. Got a motion to say all in favor?
Aye.
It's been a long day, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it has been a long
All right, Scott.
Good afternoon. This is a amendment that has come, actually, I think Mr. Eatman and the mayor both independently asked us to take a look at this. And so I've worked on along with Ms. Kreitz and Mr. Pons there. One of my first assignments when I started at the city of Tuscaloosa in 2014 was to draft an honorary street renaming policy. And the assignment I was given was to make it as hard as possible to rename a street. And I was extremely successful until Nick and Terry Saban wanted to name Nick's Kids Avenue, and they bested me. Subsequently to that, we have had some other items come up, some requests to name different infrastructure. I think we all realized for the first time when we were very deservedly naming the new McWrights Ferry Ridge after the Maccabees that we didn't actually have a process in place for any of those other things. And so what this amendment before you does is, since we're bringing in things other than just streets, it pulls the honorary street renaming portion out of the street part and puts it up more towards the administrative part. The amendment that I think y'all have in your packet does a couple of things. It's interesting to see. I'll talk occasionally about a lot of what we touch, especially in my office, is cyclical. And so it's just a matter, does this issue come up every 6 months? Does it come up every 2 years? Does it come up every 6 years? And so going back to look at what I was doing, thinking, considering back in 2014, I actually found myself in the Wayback Machine back to about 2003 or 2004 and reviewed some of Mr. Nunley's notes when he was working on this the first time that was never enacted. And we actually incorporated some of his notes and thoughts into this. Hopefully Tim would be proud of that. What this does, briefly, and then I'll answer any questions you have, is it applies basically the street naming sort of policy. It applies it to anything. If we as a city are going to name a building, a bridge, a pipe, mayor's lift station, if we're going to name anything, it needs to go through this criteria.
Station 21's my property.
Under this policy, though, we'll have to wait until he is out of office before it can be named for him. So this would apply universally across the board to anything we name. It sets out a criteria. There was a little bit of a criteria in there before, but I don't think there was really a good, this is what you need to look at before you name something after somebody. So we set out that criteria, and we stole a lot of that from Tim Nunley, actually. And one of the big things that I think will be helpful for our citizens, and was also very requested by our public safety folks, is this would no longer take down street signs and officially rename streets. And so if somebody, let's say you've got 7th Street, and if we name 7th Street, Kip Tyner Street, it would no longer be, it would still be 7th Street, but we would have another sign that's distinct that would honorarily name that street after that person. I think that helps for visitors, it helps for citizens that live on those streets, it helps for these guys that have to rememorize those things, and I think would be a very good change.
I like that a lot.
Well, what if, I'm sorry, may I?
Yeah. Yes,
Well,
sir.
what if there's an emergency and they call in Kip Tyner Street instead of 7th Street? Those people are gonna be excited.
Sure, and that's something that I think we would have built into the system. Those signs should be smaller, should be distinct, is actually the way they do it in most larger cities. And so there's always a danger, right? What you would probably call, if you called in something off of Old Jug Factory today, a lot of our officers wouldn't know what you're talking about. And so
We did build in our CAD systems too to reflect that. They call it that system and all that stuff. They said it's
Like Paper Mill Road,
Yeah.
it's still called that by people who lived it.
this would, I do want to point out, this would not change any previously named or designated streets.
Committee members, any other questions for Scott?
I like it, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next properties meeting will be January the 6th. If there's no other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.